3 creepy true horror stories animated. Let's get into it.
I'm a young teenage girl, and this happened recently. I can still remember the image in my head, playing over and over again. I live in an apartment complex on the 3rd floor. I don't usually get visitors, and when I do, it's just my aunties and cousins coming over. On this particular day, I was lying on my bed.
Bro, the aunties and cousins and all that, they'd always be the most annoying. Like they be coming over your mom like, oh, let your cousin play on your game, play on the Xbox, play on your computer. What computer? What Xbox? I ain't got nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. Every time, I don't know if this is true for everybody else, but every time my goddamn cousins came over, they broke all my shit, factory reset like my iPad, my DSi, and just caused complete hell to me. They locked me out of my own devices just for fun. It was so annoying. I couldn't stand when my cousins were over. It was so annoying. Like, why?
Bed, watching YouTube as usual. I don't have a phone anymore since it gave me a lot of trouble and then stopped working permanently. Anyway, after watching YouTube, I got up to greet my stepdad as he came home from work. After greeting him, I went back to my room where my brothers were on their bunk bed. I shared a room with them, so I never had privacy of my own. As I was looking around,
I used to share a room too, and that shit was ass. I hated sharing a room with my siblings. I would have rather not had a room and just sleep on the couch. It was horrible. Horrible. I hate sharing a room. I share a room with my brother who is 10 years older than me. That's a little different. Did your brother at least have like any electronics? Like, did he have a PlayStation and shit that he let you play on? Because me and my brother, we were like pretty close in age. So he was just annoying as fuck and always got me in trouble. My brother, a nasty motherfucker. Nasty. And he would just do the most gross, disgusting, diabolical shit ever, bro. It was horrible. I hated it. I couldn't stand it. I was like, why?
my brother suddenly said he heard knocking on the door. It was dark out, and I didn't believe him at first. Since I hadn't heard it, I shrugged it off. But then I heard the knock. My brother got up, but I told him to sit back down on the bed. I'm the oldest, and I didn't want my younger brothers opening doors for strangers. I walked up to the door. There was a chair right next to it. For some reason, I didn't want the person knocking to know anyone was home. So I didn't move the chair in front of the door to look through the peephole. Instead, I climbed onto the chair, leaning close, almost falling as I tilted my body to look.
Yo, this kind of completely off topic here. This reminds me of being in a hotel room. I always remember when I was little, I'd be like, God, I hope it has the little mini peephole at the bottom. There'd be a top one and then there'd be a bottom peephole. I was like, come on, baby. I want to be able to look through that peephole, have a bottom peephole. Come on, big money, big money. It was always a score whenever you had that bottom peephole. I don't know if anyone else had this experience, but this was always also during the same time whenever my grandpa would go, we're going on vacation. I'd be like, Pog, yeah, Pog. And he'd just take us to a hotel down the street. That was our vacation, but I didn't care. I thought we were going forever away and in a whole different universe as far as I was concerned. But we went to a hotel down the street that had a pool.
And that's when the fear hit me. I won't forget what I saw through the peephole. It was a masked man wearing a blue...
Hell no, brother. You got demonic Peter Griffin here. You got Peter Griffin from Ethiopia.
Raincoat, almost like some kind of government worker. He was standing slightly slanted to the side, but what terrified me most was the gun. He held it right up to the peephole, almost as if he wanted whoever was looking to see.
At least it's a dope gun. You got to give him respect. That's a Desert Eagle right there. I want one of those. That's nice.
See it. Heart racing, I slowly stepped down from the chair. I slipped off my slides so they wouldn't make a sound. I turned to my brothers and gestured with my hand, shaping a gun, warning them to be silent. I quickly shut off all the lights and ran into my stepdad's room to tell...
Yo, he kind of looked like that red dude from Sonic. What's his name? Knuckles?
tell him what I had just seen. What made it worse was that right before the man came, the electricity went out, and the internet too. That made it feel even scarier. My brothers ended up coming into my stepdad's room as well. We used the flashlight on his phone since the ceiling light in his room didn't work. The knocking continued. My stepdad wanted to check the peephole himself, but I wouldn't let him. I was too scared that even the slightest sound would give us away. We stayed in the room for over an hour. Eventually, it seemed like the man had left because we heard a little boy and his parents walking into their apartment on our floor.
Side rant here. Side rant. Whenever we lived on like the more ghetto side of town, years they didn't believe me. I don't care. I know it happened. I finally got validation from my cousin. If he wasn't there with me, no one would have ever believed me. But me and my cousin were home alone, and this guy come knocking on the front door. We open it up, and I swear on my life, this motherfucker looked like E.T. He looked like E.T., bro. Like gangster, though. Like pants sagging, like down to his knees. Could see his underwear, got like the super like baggy shirt, like way too big, clearly not his size, with the hat on sideways. And we ask him what he needs. He hits us with a, I swear to God, I put this on my life. Heart to God. Like what's the saying? Heart to God, hand to God. Bro, he hits us with a, "Nyeh." We said, what? And he goes, "Nyeh, nyeh, 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 nyeh." Brother, we just lost it, bro. We lost it, started laughing and closed the door on his face. And like 10 minutes later, we look out the window and we see this motherfucker. I swear to God, I'll hit the pose. He walking by all gangster. He'll dangle some car keys and just fucking keep on walking. I'm brother. What? What the fuck was that shit, bro? For years, my family didn't believe me till my cousin was like, yeah, that happened. That was for real a thing that happened.
We could also hear kids playing downstairs on the first floor. That was when I finally called my mom and asked if we could go to my aunt's house without telling her what had happened. We left in a hurry. I never saw that man again, but the thought still terrifies me. What if I had let my brother open the door?
There was actually, holy shit. There was one time we were ding-dong ditching in these apartments behind our house. And me and my cousin, we went, hit this one house, woke up their baby. Yes, we were dickhead kids. And then went and hit this other house. And we went and hopped back over the wall and was like watching, like to see if people was coming out. Because sometimes people would come out and search for us. We were serial ding-dong ditchers. We knew what we was doing. But, where was that? We go and hit these dudes and we hide. And we see them like come out and look for us a little bit. And then they go back to their house. And being dumbass little kids, we like, let's go hit them again. We go, bang, 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 knock on their door. Right away. That door swing open on our face. Oh, shit. We take off immediately. All three of us running up a hill. One of our cousin just did. He's gone. He around the corner already. Gone. Just ditched both of us. Me and my other cousin, we slide under this little trailer. And at the time, there was like construction going on. And there was like a giant hill of sand that they just had there that we would go and play on every now and then. And these dudes are coming looking for us. And we're watching from under the trailer. And we see them holding a bunch of knives and shit at that construction yard looking for us. And we're like, oh, fuck, dude, we need to get home. And we just get out from underneath the trailer and we just dip around the corner and go all the way around. We had to run like 2 miles to get back to the house because we couldn't just go and hop the wall. They had us completely blocked off. That shit was scary, man. And we continued to ding dong ditch after that still. But just not that house.
I'm currently 28 years old, but this story happened when I was just 7, and I still remember it to this day. I used to go to a local park with some friends. We had been going there for almost 2 years, but over the last 5 months, we noticed something strange. Every single day, there was a short, fat, creepy old guy who would sit on a nearby bench. He'd just watch us and other kids for hours with this unsettling.
He was short. He was fat. He was old. He was ugly. He was balding. He had lazy eye. glossy eyes. Motherfucker looked like a cyclops. One tooth having ass. Just continuously insulting him.
Pulling grin on his face. We stupidly went there without any parents or guardians, since the park was close to our house and our parents trusted us. This was back in 2003, and we were so young we didn't have phones to call for help.
Yeah, that was also when you would just go home when the streetlights came on. You didn't need a phone. Your parents, I don't know if this was for everybody else. I was definitely the last one raised like this. Boy, my grandpa used to just kick me out of the house and go, don't come back until the streetlights are coming on. Okay, I wouldn't be allowed in the house. It was bullshit.
About 2 weeks after we started to feel uncomfortable with him watching us, he finally came over. It was just me and my 3 friends in the park that day. He walked up and asked us if we wanted to go to his house to play video games and check out his new dog.
That method's been patched. Now you need to have Wi-Fi and a Glock 9.
Since we were kids, we were foolish, and we agreed. It sounded fun, and for a moment we thought maybe he was just a kind guy after all, but we were very wrong. He said his house was about a 20-minute walk from the park, so the 4 of us walked with him. About 10 minutes into the walk, a cop car drove by and started to slow down. The passenger cop leaned out the window, staring at us. The man told us to walk faster, saying that way we'd get more time to play games and to see his dog before having.
Yeah, I know that we're told that police aren't trained to profile people, but there's no way that's true, right? Because you have to be able to profile people to a degree for this exact purpose. Like, you see some dude walking around with a bunch of kids, like waving around candy. Oh, we're not allowed to profile though. So I guess have a good day, sir. That goes against my training. I'm not going to profile you. Yeah, some profiling bad, not a good thing. But to a degree, there is also a good level of profiling that is like good for being predictive, being proactive, such as situations like this.
Having to leave, so we picked up the pace. But then the cop car suddenly made a U-turn, and a loud voice shouted,
"You there! Freeze! Put your hands on your head! You're under arrest!"
We froze, confused and scared. The man bolted, but because of his age and size, he didn't get far. One cop tackled him to the ground and cuffed him, while the other officer asked us if we were okay and what had happened. We told him everything. He nodded and said it was very lucky they drove by when they did. Another cop car was called to drive us home, while the first car took the man to the station. The police...
Yo, they should do that geriatric Olympics, bro. That would be so funny.
Explained everything to our parents, and from that day forward, we were banned from going to that park. At the time, my parents thought I was too young to understand the details, but when I turned 13, they finally told me the truth.
Like, what do you think the records would be? Like, could you have like 12 old men out there trying to run the 100-meter? How long would it take?
That man was a known sexual offender. He called what he did his hunting, and he did it at local parks. That revelation terrified me. I started thinking about what could have happened to me and my 3 friends if that cop car hadn't driven by and stopped him. And honestly, I don't even want the answer, because I already know what it would have been.
Yo, what's the name of that one movie? Black Phone. He's going to end up in a black phone situation.
The police didn't share many details about his punishment, but my dad told me that one officer said the man would get at least 15 years in prison for his other crimes.
Yo, how would you react if you and your brother were like trying to solve this big old mystery just to find out that your brother was the person you're looking for in the mystery you're trying to solve? Because that's what happened in the black phone. Spoilers, happens in the black phone. That would be some like Hank level of shit. You know what I mean? If you haven't watched Breaking Bad by now, that's on you. Who cares?
My name is Dhruv Prajapati, and I'm from India. I'll tell you about an experience I had on Dumas Beach that still chills me to the bone. Dumas Beach in Surat has always been a place wrapped in mystery and dark rumors. People say it's haunted, And over the years, countless stories have circulated about strange sounds, vanishing shadows, and eerie figures that wander the sands at night. As curious as I am, I never really believed in any of it until one night changed everything. It was a rare weekend night, and some friends and I decided to hang out on Dumas Beach after sunset. We'd heard the rumors, the tales of restless spirits, unexplained disappearances, and how people seemed to disappear into the mist along the shore.
And La Llorona. Oh.
But we just laughed it off, convinced it was nothing but local folklore meant to keep people away after dark.
Yo, did you guys used to be scared of any of the folklore growing up? Because I feel like I didn't used to be. I was always scared of my grandpa. He was the scariest fucking folklore there was. Screw the boogeyman. My grandpa was the damn boogeyman.
As we walked along the beach, the only sounds were the waves crashing and our voices echoing strangely in the emptiness. Then, without warning, an icy gust of wind swept across the beach. It cut right through us, and we all felt the sudden chill. One of my friends even joked,
Maybe it's one of the ghosts.
but the laughter faded when we heard it, a whisper, faint and breathless, like someone was speaking just behind us. We stopped, our senses on high alert, and looked around. There was no one. The beach was empty. I brushed it off, figuring it was just the wind, but something felt wrong. I remember hearing that the beach was once a Hindu burial ground, and that maybe, just maybe, the souls of those buried here hadn't yet found peace.
I'm so torn on ghosts and everything. Like, I know I shouldn't believe them, but I've had some experiences where I'm like, all right, that was really weird. Like, that's borderline unexplainable. How do I even begin to explain this? And also same with like the Ouija board things and all that. Like, even on that front of things, oh, who cares if you play with it? It's not real anyway. I mean, why, when faced with the option of playing with an object where either nothing bad happens and you just nothing happens, right? Or you do play with it and you get fucking possessed by Lucifer. Zozo, there you go. Zozo, Zaza, Mama. I'm gonna just not play it. There's no sense in playing a game that either has no reward or only punishment. Call me crazy, but I'm not down for that.
As we walked further, my flashlight started flickering, and a thick, eerie mist began to roll in. It was...
I do think a big part of it is just like the unknowingness of the darkness and the human nature to perceive things naturally as a threat that we don't know. So I think that's kind of why ghosts and all that shit is a thing.
denser than anything I'd ever seen. Just then, one of my friends gasped and pointed at the ground. There, right in front of us, were footprints, appearing in the sand as though someone invisible was walking straight toward us. Our nerves got the better of us, and one of my friends whispered,
Let's get out of here.
I didn't need to be told twice, but something, maybe my curiosity or something else, held me back for just a moment longer. I looked down at the footprints moving closer, step by step, almost as if they had intent. And then, for just a brief second, I saw it, a shadow-like figure, its hollow
hell
eyes
nah, bro.
staring directly at me. The look in its eyes wasn't anger, it was something else, a mix of sorrow and warning. Heart racing, I stumbled back, and my friends and I broke into a run. As we sprinted back, I could hear faint whispers following us, growing louder, and footsteps
fuck that.
closing in behind us. When we finally reached the entrance to the beach, where the glow of the streetlights met us, we dared to turn around. The mist had already thinned, and the beach looked silent, almost peaceful, as if nothing had ever happened. To this day, I have never gone back.
These were way better. Dude, that was... I don't know about that one. That last one was... Dude, I like the Craigslist horror stories.